Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. DJ here as usual. I've got some news. It's disturbing news to my mind anyway. I hope it is to yours. But not too disturbing, but it's of great concern to us all how this two-tier policing is happening in Britain today. So I'm going to ask you a question at the top of this report. Should British police be protecting the feelings of terrorist organisations' supporters? I'll repeat that. Should British police be protecting the feelings of terrorist organisation supporters? Two-tier policing has erupted after a Jewish protester arrested over a placard mocking a terrorist chief. Now, this post it's closely following a report by Lewis Henderson of Telegraph. London's Metropolitan Police arrested a Jewish protester after displaying a satirical placard of the leader of the terrorist organisation Hezbollah. It's a banned terrorist organisation, and yet this Jewish protester, he did a placard mocking him, the leader, who's no longer alive, by the way, and he was arrested for it. But let me go on. He's a British man. He requested anonymity because of safety reasons, and he doesn't want to be killed by Islamic terrorists. So he was detained and charged last September over a cartoon depicting the Lebanese terror chief Hassan Nasrallah, his cartoon was with Hassan Nasrallah holding a pager and the words bleep, bleep, bleep. Now, most of us will recognise the reference made on the placard satirised was referring to the targeted Israel attack known as Operation Grim Beeper, not Grim Reaper, Grim Beeper, in which explosives planted in pagers and walkie-talkies killed 42 people, primarily Hezbollah terrorists. Do you remember that? They Israelis set it off. They were having their phones and their pagers, and they set them off and killed them as they tried. Now, Nasrallah survived that attempt on his life, but he was later killed in an airstrike by the Israelis. The Telegraph has raised concerns about the police handling of different protest groups, and with the Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philip described it as an example of two-tier policing in action. During police questioning of this Jewish man that was arrested, he was repeatedly asked by the police if he thought the images would give offence to clearly pro-Hezbollah and anti-Israel activists. So the police therefore were showing their concern that it could give offence to people who supported Hezbollah, a banned organisation, and who supported anti-Israel activities. Why are British police involved in protecting the feelings of supporters the question was clearly pro-Hezbollah and anti-Israel? That's my question to the top of this page. It's a question that's going to go through the theme of this report. I don't understand why Metropolitan Police, London's police force, is policing people who may or may not be upsetting supporters of terrorists. The decision by the police to permit pro-Palestinian demonstrations in London since October the 7th, when they massacred those people and took away 245 hostages. Some of those have not been released yet. Some were released but dead. It's highly contentious in my mind, at least, particularly when marches have passed through areas with significant Put my teeth back in. Jewish populations near synagogues. The unnamed Jewish man reportedly displayed the placard for less than 3 minutes during the demonstration in Swiss Cottage, northwest London, on September the 20th, 2024. He said 2 police vans, 6 police officers turned up at our house to search for offensive material, which was quite invasive. It was a horrible experience, he exclaimed. They put me in the lounge and asked my partner to go with them around the house. They weren't very pleasant to her. This is understatements, isn't it? He's trying not to upset people. Now he's been accused of upsetting terrorist sympathisers. They weren't very pleasant to her and even went through her knicker drawer. It was totally ridiculous. The Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philip told the Telegraph, in recent times the police have failed to act when confronted with protesters calling for jihad and intifada in London. I know, I've seen it myself. They're not acting against these groups, but they're acting against the people who say something on the internet, or in this case, a placard. Yet this man was apparently arrested. This is Chris Phillips carrying on. Yet this man was apparently arrested because he might have offended supporters of a banned terrorist organisation. That's where I can't get my head round. Why are the police arresting, searching, intimidating someone because he may or may not have offended supporters of a banned terrorist organisation? It doesn't make sense. This is Chris Philip carrying on. I keep interrupting him, don't I? This is a two-tier policing in action. The law is rightly clear about supporting banned terrorist groups, inciting violence, inciting racial hatred, or harassing people. It's illegal. Beyond that, free speech applies to everyone. The Shadow Home Secretary, Chris Philip, he criticised the inconsistency of the police, noting they sometimes turn a blind eye. Sometimes? Where applying the law might be difficult. Yet over-police at other times, when it's easier, isn't it? When it's just one man or one woman, And have you noticed how they're elderly? I mean, that woman that's been arrested who's 74 for having a placard in a street that says, "Here to talk if you want." Arrested. She's been found guilty of harassment in our courts. For what? "I'm here to talk if you want." How is that harassment? Our judicial is gone to pot. Our police forces have gone to pot. Pol Pot? Anyone? He added the law. This is Phillips. I've interrupted him again. He added the law should be applied equally to all, robustly and without fear or favour. And that's what's not happening here, he said. I agree, Chris Philip. But, the people voted in this government. The people are putting up with police over-policing. They're putting up with this two-tier policing. They're putting it up. We are carried down. We're not speaking up. Well, I am. But, in the majority, people are not speaking up. Do I keep asking you all for comments. I'm getting very few comments when what I'm asking the comments on matter. I have a gripe, I put about my daughter's dog. It was going to be put down because it was they thought it was a pit bull. It's still under, but it's been reprieved so far. But 18,000 views. I put recently about women who have heart attacks. It's now been 4 days since I put that in. How many views do you think I've got? 2. 2 views when I put about women, how to deal with women's heart attacks. 2 views. How to deal with a dog that was going to be put down or castrated. 18,000 views. It's the same with these news bulletins I'm doing here now. What's going on, folks? What's going on? This is our liberty. This is our freedom. And there's very few comments. There's very few what looks and watches as soon as you see the headline. We're going to suffer for this when our freedoms have gone. Read George Orwell's 1984. There's a film out as well. I think there's a couple of films out, but I've seen one of them. It's very old now, but it's still available, I believe, on the internet. Watch it. Read the book. See just what we're heading for if we're not prepared to stand up and speak. Now, I'm saying that I'm going to stop speaking. So don't forget to subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny, nor even a cent. It's not even a rupee. It costs you nothing to subscribe. So press that subscribe button. If you like these posts, press the like button. And if you feel you've got something to say it. So until the next one, I'm going to say be safe, be good, and goodbye from DJ. See you later, because there's another one coming up soon. So see you later, but bye for